Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Let's have some fun, eh? Yes, lads, welcome to my early championship prediction, where somehow the prediction here will be even worse than what it would be officially by the time you see this again in September. Of course, this is recorded before a single ball is kicked, and before there is, there's still transfers to be made for each team. So, a lot to go into here. Of course, I will not go massively in depth because, number one, I can't, because I don't know every single team fully, to the brim, so that may play a factor here, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe me not fully knowing absolutely everything in depth, like what I may do about some Prem teams, could actually be a good thing, because that's an easy excuse to blame on later on in the future. So yeah, I will say things that you may not agree with, especially, this is the thing, right? There's a difference between Championship fans and Premier League fans. Most Prem fans, they probably don't go to games that often. Of course, some do, especially the lower tier fans. But like, yes, fans, a large chunk don't actually go games. Don't they have that same sort of like tribalism in the same way as what Championship fans do? Because it is like their life. So it could be a lot more aggressive, I feel like, the comment section for this video. So enjoy that down there, lads. So of course, got each team here. I would just go through each one pretty simply, and I may not give massively in-depth answers because, again, it is the early prediction, so I will do my more in-depth research fully into the final one. But this is kind of how I'm seeing each team right now, the kind of projections of each football team, and I feel like I may have some predictions that are maybe a bit different to what other people may have, so let's go. Yo, do you play FIFA 22? Yeah. Is your team bang average? You absolute pathetic piece of... You're saying that to the viewers? No, obviously. Ah, okay. I mean you. Do you face teams like this?
You can't keep getting away with it!
Do you know there's a way to get coins? Why are you shouting at me? Then go to userbuy.com for the cheapest and most reliable place to buy your coins on FIFA 22. Link is down below in the description, and also use code Vizeh at checkout to get a discount. Alright, let's start off with one of my big out there shouts. For whatever reason, there's always that one team each year that you just don't expect to do that well. Last year, it was Huddersfield. Year before that, it was Barnsley. And this team, even though I don't think they are anywhere near as low on the table as what people would have thought they would be, I still feel like they would just kind of come out of nowhere and be quite a good team, and especially attacking-wise, get some good goals. And actually, Swansea in playoffs, I actually firmly believe that. I don't know why the badge is like that, by the way, but anyway, I'll say Swansea in playoffs, I actually do feel like they'll be quite good this year. They got goal scorers, had a bit of pedigree as well in other years that they can get there, and I feel like this year, with Joe Pro at top, hopefully he stays there. He probably will, because I think they're asking for a lot of money. I think playoffs could be more than possible for them, and I think that is kind of like an out there shout, because I don't think a lot of people think they will, but I think Swansea, I'll put them in playoffs. Of course, I don't really know exactly where. I mean, there's one thing to really try to say which like level they are, never mind which exact spot. Maybe I'll decide near the end of like where I kind of lay them out. Next up will be Sunderland. I say lower mid-table. I think they'll be okay. I feel like they'll have the grit in them to grind out some results here. I don't think they're going to have an insane season, but I think try to be stable in Championship should be more than enough for them. They got a good manager, and I feel like they should be okay. They should be okay, and I think most Sunderland fans will probably think that is reasonable as well. You know, probably like 15th, 17th, around there. Seems about right for them. Okay, for the drop, I'm sorry, Rotherham. I'm sorry, like, if in doubt, Rotherham. Like, Rotherham for the Championship is like what the Norwich is and Fulham for the Premier League. It's like, I would like them to stay up just because I feel like they'd be nice to see for once. But I just kind of feel like it just is how it is. It just is the way that it's meant to be. And Rotherham probably will just go down again. I'm sorry, okay? I'm truly, truly sorry. You're staying up in the survival spots, I'll say Wigan, I think, like, 20th, 19th, 18th. I feel like they'll be in the survival spots. I think they may have a bit of a scare, but I think they'll stay up. In the top half, I think comfortably in there will be Hull. I think Hull will be in there. I think they'll make progress this year. Not too much progress, but I think being in top half should be reasonable. Where that is, I can't tell you. If it's between 7th or 12th, could be 10th. Like, I kind of feel like Hull, they'll make progress, they make some good players. I don't know if they'll make playoffs though. I just kind of feel like that would be pretty good for Hull. And let's put another team in the playoffs here, and I think comfortably in there, I'll put Sheffield United. After their disappointments of last year, losing out to Nottingham Forest in the penalties, it's quite harmful to them. Of course, they lost Gibbs White as well because he was on loan. But they've brought in some good players as well, some good signings. And I feel like with the staff team they have and the experience that they have, experience is key. And they've still got a good core group of players there that's been there and done it before. So I feel like playoffs, another challenging year for Sheffield United. I think they could be also at some stage probably going for top 2. If they just don't have like an awful start like they did last year, then be consistent, they can maybe challenge as well for the top 2 spots, to be fair to them. But I think playoffs is reasonable. Actually, I put Preston in the survival area, like 18th, and I'll put Cardiff in the mid-table spot as well, around like 14th, around there. I think Cardiff, they made a lot of signings, I think 12 so far, and they may make even more, so it'd be a very big team trying to like change things around, which could work really well or could work not so well, and maybe we'll build across the year. I think they'll be mid-table, maybe on the kind of lower side of it, like maybe like 16th, 15th. But yeah, I think that's fine for them. And Preston kind of always is kind of like just there and kind of scrapping away, and I think that will be no different this year. That I think they're just going to be, I mean, usually they're kind of like just pure mid-table. But I do think they are kind of like not making that much progress. When I look at their team, I don't really see much progress really being made there. So I'll say in a kind of survival fight with Wigan, sounds about right for Preston. In the top half, I will go for Coventry. I think Coventry, they've got a good goal scorer in Goyo Keres. I'm so sorry for butchering his name. I do feel like Coventry, as a club, they're also getting better. Similar to Hull, coming down from League One, get promoted and kind of like being, become a stable side in the Championship. And I think they're making progress each year with the players that they have. And I feel like Coventry, they are gonna also fight for the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna make it in personally. Bristol City. I don't know why I sense like top half, like 12th. I don't know why. There's just something about them that I feel like they kind of can be okay on their day. And I think they could be just purely mid-table, 12th, 11th, 13th. But I'll say 12th. And to be fair, if you're doing mid-table, probably Stoke. I'm sorry. Like I've not seen much from them that makes me think they really are improving and really making those big steps forward. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's just kind of like another. They got Tyrese Campbell, who's always kind of injured, but I don't know. Like maybe they could be in top half, but there's just something about them that's just kind of like, Let's go for a team that I think will go down and a team that I think will survive. And I'm gonna put. Do I think Birmingham will go down? I think this is gonna be the year, right? This has got to be the year. I don't want to. I don't want to, but I kind of feel like And you know what? I think Reading will stay up. I feel like people are kind of just always pushing Reading to go down. But I just got this feeling that Reading, they probably will. They probably will actually stay up. We've got Shane Longan, who is getting on now, but he's got experience. Jeff Hendrick, probably be alright for the Championship, to be fair, actually. Probably be fine, in a battle anyway. And I just kind of feel like Reading is that team that everyone is just hoping that will go down, and I think that they will stay up. And I think that Birmingham is a team that will actually go down instead. I think that right now Birmingham is just such a mess right now that I kind of just can't see them actually staying up again. But maybe this is that kind of thing that, again, they just stay up because it's just what they do. It's so kind of weird to see, but they always somehow stay up. And then there is, who else is really down in a scrap? I guess it really is Blackpool. And I think Blackpool will also go down as well. I feel like they did pretty good last year. Can they do it again for another year? Would it be like an element of like a second season syndrome? I'm seeing who they have to score goals. I don't really know. Right now they're bringing in no players. Their end of last year were a 5-0 loss to Peterborough. 5-0 to Peterborough, bro. Left in a kind of lower tier. You know what? I think Huddersfield may actually have a pretty poor year this year. I think they may do somewhat of a Barnsley. Not anywhere near as drastic, but I feel like there'll be a drop-off this year. Some players will go because of how they did. They didn't go up. Some players will leave, like O'Brien. And, of course, the manager is gone. So I kind of feel like there'll be a drop-off this year. And I think that it may be a bit of a tough year for Huddersfield fans. That's kind of how I see it. To finish off the mid-table, I'll say Luton. I'll say Luton Town. I think they may have another drop. I think they may have a drop-off as well for how good they were last year. I'll say in top half, it'd be Blackburn, and like, they've still got some decent players there. They've got some people that can score goals, and they can be good form, but they just can't keep it up. I think defensively they are quite poor, but they can score goals, which is important if they can keep Dak and they can keep Diaz. So I'll put them in top half, but I still don't think they'll be in playoffs again. Go for Middlesbrough. Chris Wilder, people putting both to be in playoffs. I think Chris Wilder is a good manager. Can he get that team ticking in the way he wants to? They can have their moments. Can it be that year? I don't really fully know. And then Millwall, I'll put them also in top half. Again, I just don't know if they have the full package to be in the playoffs this year. I don't know. I just got this weird feeling about Swansea for whatever reason I do. And I mean, I'm a Burnley fan, so people kind of waiting for to see what I say about Burnley. Last team missing out on playoffs. Man, I mean, as a Burnley fan, do I actually think we get playoffs? And I feel like if we don't get playoffs, then I feel like that would be seen as a disappointment. I'll say Burnley in playoffs. I don't think we'll be in top 2. I'll say playoffs. And I would say QPR to miss out. And I would then also say to be in the top 2, I'll say Norwich to win the league, West Brom second, Watford in playoffs. I'll go with that. Yeah. I think Norwich, from what I've seen from them in pre-season, they're doing the same as what they always do. And I feel like Norwich, comfortably, probably top 2. If they keep Pookie, yeah, like it's just going to be enjoyable for them again. And West Brom, I feel like Steve Bruce could do it. I don't know why. I just think they could do it. He's got some experience. Even though people mock Steve Bruce, I kind of feel like for the championship, he's decent. I think he's decent for the championship. He's got experience there at least. He's got pedigree. Watford manager from Forest Green, Rob Edwards. I think he did very well at Forest Green. We'll get used to the division. Same thing to Company. I feel like both Watford and Burnley teams are both very good. I feel like this could be quite boring of a prediction, but it's just because if you look at the teams in terms of depth between Watford, Sheffield United, Burnley, even Burnley right now, man, other than maybe 1 or 2 players in defence, other than like a pure solid centre back, which still has time to get one in, which we're still going for. It'd be really bad if they don't get playoffs at least for all 5 of these teams. So it's hard to really look past that. And my kind of weird dark horse team is Swansea. I don't know why. I just kind of have that feeling towards Swansea, and maybe also QPR for some reason. I also feel like QPR also are building quite a nice team over there as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments here. I don't know if this is far off, or I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen. There's not really too many out there ones. But yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. And yeah, lads, stay safe.